The grand ballroom sparkled under the cascade of crystal chandeliers, a sea of elegantly dressed guests swirling around Ethan Carter and Maya Johnson on the dance floor. Ethan, standing tall and confident in a perfectly tailored cream suit, gazed down at his bride with a look of unwavering admiration. Maya, poised gracefully in her wheelchair, wore a flowing white satin gown that draped effortlessly over the wheels, a delicate crystal tiara nestled beneath her sheer veil. Her radiant smile had the power to soften even the hardest of hearts. To the outside world, their union seemed like a paradox. Him, a successful tech entrepreneur at 33, and her, a fiercely passionate disability rights advocate who used a wheelchair. But to Ethan, Maya was nothing less than his perfect match. Brilliant, beautiful, and breathtakingly strong. Their love story was anything but conventional. They met by chance at a conference where Ethan spoke about innovation and Maya championed inclusion. While others faded into the background, Maya's voice commanded the room with sharp intelligence and compelling passion. Ethan couldn't forget the way she challenged a CEO with cold, hard facts, or how her presence moved the crowd without her ever leaving her seat. Their first coffee meeting lasted 5 hours, a conversation that unraveled layers of shared dreams and quiet courage. But their path wasn't free of obstacles. Public assumptions and whispers followed them. Strangers mistook Ethan for a brother or caretaker. Questions from friends and family tested their resolve. Ethan's own mother hesitated, unsure if her son was ready for a life shadowed by challenge. Yet Ethan's love was unwavering. He never saw Maya's wheelchair, only the fierce, radiant woman who sat in it. And Maya, guarded for years against pity and misunderstanding, slowly allowed herself to believe that this was real, that Ethan wasn't fascinated by what she couldn't do, but inspired by who she truly was. That night, surrounded by the warmth of family and friends, they vowed to face the world hand in hand, defying expectations and rewriting the meaning of strength and love. The celebration buzzed with joy and laughter, but beneath Maya's radiant smile lay a secret she had carried silently for 2 years. As the newlyweds entered their honeymoon suite, the soft glow of candlelight flickered against rose petals scattered across the bed, creating an atmosphere of romance and anticipation. Ethan, pouring champagne with a tender smile, gently wheeled Maya inside. Her white gown shimmered softly as she settled into the room. But then, with a quiet breath, she asked to sit for a moment. There was a calm seriousness in her voice that made Ethan pause. He sat beside her without hesitation, sensing the weight behind her words. "There's something I've been holding back," Maya confessed, not from fear, but from a need for timing and trust. She needed Ethan to see the real her, the woman beyond the public face, beyond the strength she showed the world. "You know my story," she began, recounting the spinal cord injury she suffered at 21, the devastating prognosis that she'd never walk again. Ethan nodded, remembering the countless times she'd defied expectations. "2 years ago, I joined an experimental neurorehabilitation trial," she said softly. "They didn't promise miracles, just a chance. Slowly, I regained movement, first my toes, then my legs, enough to stand, to walk a little with effort." Ethan's eyes widened in stunned disbelief. "You can walk?" he whispered. Maya nodded, lifting her hand to gently halt his surprise. "Yes, but only short distances, and not without pain or risk. And judgment," she added, her gaze steady. She explained why she'd kept this hidden. "I've had men fall for me only after they learned I might walk again, as if that made me more valuable. I needed to know you loved me now, for who I am." Ethan reached for her hand, his voice full of warmth and conviction. "I love you for your mind, your fire, your heart. If you never stood again, I'd still be the luckiest man alive." In that tender moment, Maya rose slowly, legs trembling but determined, stepping toward Ethan with quiet strength. No shock. Only awe filled the room as he held her close, the truth between them shining brighter than any light. The room hung heavy with emotion as Maya's trembling legs found strength beneath her. Each step a testament to years of resilience and quiet determination. Ethan stood motionless, awestruck, his arms opening like a sanctuary to catch her when the moment demanded it. But this wasn't a display of weakness. It was a triumph forged from countless battles with pain, doubt, and the world's unyielding gaze. As she steadied herself in his embrace, Maya whispered of the true struggle, one not of physical limitations, but of trust. People think the hardest part is the pain, the stairs, the obstacles, she murmured, her voice a mixture of vulnerability and steel. For me, it's always been about trusting someone to love all of me, not just the parts they can see or fix. Ethan listened intently, every word sinking deep into his heart. She spoke of the men who had come and gone, some kind, some curious, only to disappear when she said no. But with him, it was different. You never treated me like I was broken, she said softly. You never asked when I'd walk again, or made the wheelchair the center of our story. Ethan's fingers traced the curve of her hand gently, affirming silently what words could not fully capture. Because it never was, he whispered back. The honesty between them unfolded like a balm, soothing old wounds and building new bridges of understanding. Maya explained how she had guarded her heart fiercely, waiting to be loved for her true self, beyond the chair, beyond the injury, beyond the labels others placed on her. Tonight, in the quiet intimacy of their honeymoon suite, all those fears melted away. They laughed about their mismatched wedding vows, dreamed aloud about future travels, and spoke of everything beyond wheels and pain. Hope, love, and life itself. As dawn filtered through the curtains, Maya reached for her wheelchair again, a symbol not of limitation, but of freedom and identity. Turning to Ethan with a teasing smile, she asked, "Still feel like the luckiest man in the world?" He leaned against the doorway, his eyes shining brighter than any promise. Even more than yesterday. The next morning, the world outside their suite seemed to carry on as usual, but inside, something profound had shifted. Maya wheeled herself with quiet confidence through the grand lobby, her gown gracefully draped over the wheelchair that had become part of her story. Not a symbol of weakness, but of strength and perseverance. Guests stole glances, whispers fluttering like soft ripples across the ballroom. One older woman leaned toward her husband, voice hushed yet filled with awe. He must really love her. She's so lucky. Maya caught the words, and with a playful smile, she whispered to Ethan, "Should I tell her I booked this entire hotel for our honeymoon?" His laughter was warm and full of love. "Let her live in awe a little longer," he replied, squeezing her hand gently. But behind Maya's radiant joy was a secret she had held close for 2 years, a truth she wasn't ready to reveal until that night. They had faced the world's assumptions together, the sideways looks, the doubts about what their love could endure. Yet, Maya's journey was more than just love. It was about reclaiming her identity and showing that disability was only one chapter in her story. As evening settled, Maya decided it was time to share her truth beyond the walls of their love story. She recorded a video titled, "What They Miss When I Stand," sitting in her wheelchair, speaking directly to the camera with a calm but powerful voice. She wasn't seeking pity or inspiration. She wanted education and understanding. Then, in a quiet but determined moment, she rose slowly with the aid of her cane, taking measured steps before settling back into her chair. "People cheer when I stand," she said softly, "but they miss the strength it takes to sit in this chair every day. I'm not stronger because I walk, and I'm not more worthy because I can. This chair isn't my weakness, it's my freedom." The video spread like wildfire, touching hearts and opening eyes worldwide. Ethan watched from behind the scenes, proud yet humble, knowing their story was bigger than just the two of them. It was a beacon of hope, resilience, and redefining what it truly means to be whole. In the days that followed, Maya's story rippled far beyond the intimate walls of their honeymoon suite, capturing the attention of strangers and friends alike. The video she shared wasn't just a testament to her physical resilience. It was a bold challenge to society's narrow definitions of strength and worth. Viewers were drawn not only to the grace of her movements, but to the raw honesty in her words. She spoke about the unseen battles, the emotional weight of living with disability, and the courage it took to be vulnerable in a world that often demanded perfection. Meanwhile, Ethan remained a steadfast presence, not just as a husband, but as a guardian of her truth and dignity. When reporters sought his thoughts, he deflected any notion of heroism, saying simply, "She's not brave because she stood. She's brave because she waited for a love that honors all of her, no matter what." Their love story was unlike any other, built on mutual respect, deep understanding, and an unshakable commitment to face life's challenges hand in hand. As the media buzz grew, so did conversations about accessibility, inclusion, and the real experiences of people living with disabilities. Maya's courage sparked a wave of empathy, but it also exposed lingering prejudices and misconceptions. Through it all, the couple stayed grounded, refusing to let the spotlight define them or their journey. They planned vacations, navigated therapy sessions, and launched new projects, living a life rich with joy and complexity beyond the headlines. On their third anniversary, Ethan gifted Maya a journal, its first page inscribed with a simple yet profound message. I fell in love with a woman who rolls, married one who walks, but will grow old beside the one who moves people, no matter how she gets there. That night, as they danced slowly in their living room, foot by foot, the world outside faded away. There were no surprises left, only the unfolding joy of a love that had weathered every storm and emerged stronger, more radiant, and endlessly inspiring. As days turned into weeks, Maya and Ethan's story began to resonate far beyond their immediate circle, igniting a powerful dialogue about love, resilience, and the true meaning of strength. Maya's candid video, where she rose from her wheelchair with measured, deliberate steps, captivated viewers, challenging them to rethink their assumptions about disability and worth. It was not just her physical ability to stand that moved people, but the profound message she carried: that dignity and freedom don't hinge on what society expects, but on embracing one's authentic self. Ethan's unwavering support was the silent backbone of their journey. When asked by the press about his wife's courage, he remained humble, emphasizing that her bravery wasn't about walking, but about patience and trust, waiting for a love that valued all of her, without conditions or expectations. Their bond was a testament to a love that transcended limitations, built on mutual respect and deep understanding. Amid the growing attention, the couple remained grounded, navigating life's everyday moments with grace, whether it was attending therapy sessions, planning trips, or managing the hustle of Ethan's tech ventures. Maya's story sparked broader conversations about accessibility, inclusion, and the experiences of people with disabilities, inspiring many to challenge their own biases and embrace empathy. Yet, the spotlight also revealed the complexities and prejudices still embedded in society's fabric. Through it all, Maya and Ethan stayed true to themselves, refusing to be defined by public perceptions or media narratives. On their third anniversary, Ethan gifted Maya a journal, inscribed with words that perfectly captured their journey. I fell in love with a woman who rolls, married one who walks, but will grow old beside the one who moves people, no matter how she gets there. That night, as they danced slowly in the quiet of their home, each step echoed with the triumph of love's resilience, proof that true strength lies not in overcoming challenges alone, but in embracing life fully, together. As Maya stepped further into her new role as a cultural liaison, the transformation was palpable, not just for her, but for the entire company. From the moment she walked into the conference room speaking flawless Moroccan Arabic, a subtle yet profound shift occurred. The usual tension melted away, replaced by an air of respect and genuine connection. It wasn't just about language proficiency, it was about understanding culture, bridging gaps, and making others feel truly seen and valued. Colleagues who had once overlooked her now sought her insight and guidance. Interns approached her nervously, eager for advice on presentations and navigating the corporate world. Maya, with her characteristic humility and warmth, embraced this new chapter with quiet confidence. Meanwhile, Ethan watched her rise with pride, knowing that her journey was about more than just a promotion. It was about shattering invisible ceilings and rewriting narratives. But success rarely arrives without resistance. Whispers and skepticism began circulating in the hallways. Some questioned the legitimacy of her position, unable to reconcile the janitor they once knew with the executive she had become. Office politics surfaced, with subtle undermining and sideways glances. Yet Maya remained unshaken. She understood that change often breeds discomfort, and she was determined to let her work speak louder than the rumors. Her ability to effortlessly manage complex international projects and mend fractured vendor relationships quickly silenced many doubters. As weeks passed, Maya's influence blossomed beyond expectations. She wasn't just a translator, She was a catalyst for cultural empathy and inclusivity within the company's global operations. Ethan and Maya began collaborating on initiatives aimed at nurturing hidden talents within the workforce, inspired by her own story of perseverance. Together, they dreamed of a workplace where potential was recognized not by titles or appearances, but by skill and heart. And so, from the depths of struggle and silent labor, Maya emerged, not just as an employee, but as a beacon of transformation, inspiring everyone around her to rethink what true leadership and brilliance look like. The buzz around Maya's rise wasn't without its challenges. Just as momentum built, the undercurrents of office politics began to swirl more fiercely. One afternoon, she was summoned, not by Ethan, but by Eleanor Grant, a senior board member known for her sharp mind and even sharper tongue. Eleanor's arrival in the company was like a storm, precise, calculated, and impossible to ignore. Sitting across from Maya in a sterile conference room, Eleanor didn't sugarcoat her skepticism. She laid bare Maya's shortcomings: no formal college degree, no corporate pedigree, and zero management certifications. Her tone was icy but deliberate, questioning how a former janitor could now be entrusted with high-level international affairs. Maya met every challenge with steady calm, unwavering in her conviction. She recounted her multilingual skills, her successes in resolving vendor disputes, and her pivotal role in breaking months-long stalemates with international partners. Each point she made chipped away at Eleanor's facade, exposing the gap between formal credentials and real-world capability. When Eleanor dismissed Maya's approach as instinct and charm, Maya shot back with a quiet but firm declaration: results matter more than titles or paperwork. The tension was palpable, but beneath it all was a silent acknowledgement that something was shifting. This meeting wasn't just a test of Maya's resilience. It was a microcosm of a larger battle, the fight to redefine value and merit beyond traditional confines. Leaving the room, Maya felt the weight of expectations, but also a newfound resolve. Back at her desk, the handwritten note on the whiteboard, "We see you," felt like a beacon in the storm. It was a reminder that recognition often comes in whispers before it roars. As word spread, Maya's presence grew not only as a symbol of change, but as a catalyst for a cultural awakening within the company. Her story wasn't just about one woman's triumph. It was about challenging assumptions, breaking barriers, and reminding everyone that brilliance doesn't always wear a suit or sit behind a desk. As Maya settled into her new role, something remarkable began to unfold within the company's walls. No longer just the quiet janitor who spoke multiple languages, she became a beacon of inspiration and a trusted confidante. Employees started to seek her out, not only for her linguistic skills, but for her wisdom, her grounded perspective, and her genuine empathy. Interns nervously approached her before presentations, eager for guidance. Colleagues turned to her when navigating tricky cultural nuances or when they needed a calming voice in the chaos of deadlines and deals. Her presence shifted the atmosphere. The once stale corridors now hummed with a fresh energy fueled by respect and inclusion. Maya never wielded authority with arrogance or entitlement. Instead, she led quietly, through action and example, earning trust the old-fashioned way, by showing up, listening deeply, and delivering results. One afternoon, during a rare break in the whirlwind of meetings, Ethan found Maya in the break room sipping coffee. "I've been hearing great things," he said with a smile. Maya shrugged, half amused, half weary. "I'm just trying to do my job without letting the noise get to me." Ethan laughed. "Making waves around here? That's a good thing." Their conversation turned to broader ideas. A new internal training program designed to nurture untapped talent, especially those overlooked by traditional career paths. Maya's eyes lit up. "There are so many people like me, waiting to be seen," she said softly. Together, they crafted Voices Within, a pilot program aimed at giving employees from all departments the chance to develop new skills and rise beyond invisible roles. The initiative quickly gained momentum, and Maya was soon invited to speak at a leadership summit where she shared her journey, not as a tale of miraculous transformation, but as a powerful reminder: brilliance often hides in plain sight. Her words struck a chord with many, challenging old biases and inspiring a renewed belief that talent has no uniform, and opportunity should never be limited by circumstance. Maya's rise was more than a personal victory. It was a catalyst, a movement, and a call to recognize the extraordinary potential that exists in every corner of the workplace. As Maya settled into her new role, recognition quickly spread throughout the company, transforming whispers into widespread conversations. The company-wide email from Ethan himself announced her appointment, not as a favor or a token gesture, but as a well-earned promotion to cultural liaison for international affairs. The message was clear. Maya was the best person for the job, period. Yet, as the news traveled fast, it stirred mixed reactions. Some celebrated quietly, acknowledging the overdue recognition of true talent, while others grumbled, resentful and confused by someone who had once been a janitor now stepping confidently into executive meetings. Maya felt the subtle pushback immediately. From doubtful glances to whispered doubts about her qualifications, she faced skepticism head-on. But with quiet determination, she let her work speak. Navigating complex negotiations, bridging language gaps, and smoothing over contract disputes, she proved not only her linguistic mastery, but her strategic insight. At a pivotal meeting with key international partners, Maya's fluency and cultural understanding transformed tension into collaboration. Observers noted how her presence changed the room. Respect replaced mistrust, and genuine connection blossomed where there had been confusion. As the weeks passed, Maya's influence grew beyond translation. Colleagues sought her advice, mentors welcomed her perspectives, and interns looked up to her as a role model who embodied perseverance and grace. Yet, success also brought challenges. Maya faced a formal meeting with senior leadership, questioning her lack of traditional credentials. She met their doubts with unshakable confidence, pointing to tangible results, not just paperwork. "I don't need to be liked," she said, "but I need to be useful. And I am." That declaration marked a turning point, signaling a new era of valuing lived experience and diverse talents. Outside the office, Maya reflected on her journey, the sacrifices, the missed celebrations, the long nights. She tucked her old janitor badge away, not to forget her past, but to honor the path that shaped her resilience. This wasn't just a job, it was a breakthrough, not only for her, but for everyone who's ever been overlooked. Maya had rewritten the rules, proving brilliance knows no dress code, and that true leadership can emerge from the most unexpected places.